Okay, guys, I haven't seen you all in 2 weeks. We missed Thursday because of an ice storm. And you had Thanksgiving off and semester's over, isn't it? Okay. I got a couple of boxes from IRS, and I hope it's something I want to give out to you all so you can be looking at it over the break. Jonathan, come in here if you would and carry one of these boxes for me.
It was 21 pounds. I hate this for breakfast.
I'm hoping it's books that I need to give you guys. Well, that's what we put their tax returns in. So that's just forms. Here's what I want to give you all. Cole, wait, you're not gonna be here next semester, are you? Oh, are you?
I'm getting a minor in accounting.
Okay, good. Okay, we're broadcasting. I can't show these, of course, on the video. I used to order one for each student. I didn't know how many I would have. And he sent them this material before Christmas. And it's got, don't lose this. Now, what we'll do next semester, we'll look at some of this material. And right now, I'm just trying to see what you got in your bundle. Each student gets a bundle, so I need Hillary, Matthew, and Terry on exam day to remind me to give them a copy if they've enrolled in VITA and for either intern or for credit. All right. What we'll do in this blue book, if you get time, go through there and see what you can do with the test. We'll do the test. We'll go over in class together. And this test, when we get online to take your test for IRS, it's about the same. You can pass, we can pass this test. We'll go together and you'll at least pass it online. So this is just a training guide. You'll probably need to put that in some kind of notebook, what have you. And I'll have to give you the site later. When we get back, I'll give you the site and you can go in there and look over the site and so forth. And then I'll show you how to go in to take your test. Okay. But anyway, those three who are absent, remind me to give those to you. So Cole, you registered also for the VITA stuff.
Yeah.
I probably ordered too many of those, but I'm hoping I have some other folks who will volunteer. Now, that brings us back to today. Now, first off, who could bring an exam schedule up on your cell phone? Did you bring up an exam schedule, Jonathan? Now, Cole, do you have to have both intermediates or either one of the minor? Can you just have how many credits?
It'd be, I guess, 4 classes, so 12 credits.
4 credits.
12 credits.
So you can take costs, the ITA, and tax, and it gets rid of 3 of them, don't it?
Yeah, well, the first tax class, this one counts as 1, and then advanced tax 2 can be what you call it, elective.
Okay, so you have all 4 of them. Okay, our class is at 12:30. I guess we're gonna have it 10 o'clock next Thursday. 10 o'clock next Thursday. And make sure I got my Tuesday, Thursday right. 10 o'clock Thursday, December 6th, same room. I'll be having a county principal here at 8:30. So they'll probably stay later. If they do, that's okay. I have room for everybody. Let's see when my cost class is too. It's 11 o'clock. This is gonna be a Tuesday at 10, so I have to come both days. Shucks. All right, so what do we have an exam on? That's the first question. We're gonna have an exam on, I believe it is 8, 9, 10. Now, if you remember, let me check chapter 8. Chapter 8 was that passive activities. Please look over that. And it was gains and losses in general. 1231 product and bad debts. I didn't put a lot about chapter 8. And I never stressed net operating loss too much. But you need to look at it. Now, chapter 9. Excuse me. All right, chapter 9 is all those employees' expense, travel, education, home office, and I think we've done okay with that chapter. Moving expense, office and home. If anything we didn't do well on this chapter is deferred comp. All right. Now that brings us to chapter 10, depreciation. We need to go back and look at a couple of things on those past 2 chapters on Thursday. Now, Thursday I usually collect points. All of you are pre-registered, right? So that's 5 points. And attendance is usually 10 points. If you're here or if you text me, I know some of you missed 2 or 3 days, but did you text me at the beginning of class? You did, Cole? Then you were county president. So we'll collect that. And any bonus, I'll be giving you a bonus today to hand in. I'll be giving you a problem to count for the exam. Okay? But anyway, we're winding it up fast. But the chapter on depreciation, I'm gonna give you problem 48 as a bonus. You can bring that in the day of the exam. The day of the exam. All right, now back in chapter 9, now that's a bonus problem to bring in the day of the exam, or Thursday if you want to. All right, now problem 71. Has anybody finished or done problem 71, chapter 9? Anybody? All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to give you problem 72 on page 63. Now, problem 72 is 50 points of your exam. 50. You definitely want to do that one. All right. Now let's look at problem 72 for a minute. Look at page 63. You will need to print off a schedule AB, a schedule C, a schedule SE, a form 2106. Now, schedule C we know is a small business. Everything goes right on the form. SE, you have to calculate Social Security. Just follow the form. 2106 is travel. So I want to read this problem with you. George Large and his wife Marge Large. Isn't that a good name? Marge Large. See, I had a sister named Hester. She had no middle name. So when she grew up, she was Hester Lester. And she couldn't wait to get married to change that last name. Okay. That's a fact. All right. George Large worked as a salesman. He received a salary of 80. They took out taxes. They took out state taxes. All right. He had an expense reimbursement of $5,000 to cover his employee business expenses. George must make an adequate account to his employer. Now, Toyo provided George with medical insurance worth $7,200. All right. George drove his car a total of 24,000 miles, and he placed the car in service on June 2015. His log indicates that 18,000 miles were sales calls. Now, you got to fill out that 2106 and give him 50-something cents a mile. He purchased 2 season tickets for a total of $4,000. He takes a customer to every game, and they discussed some business. George also takes clients to business lunches. His log indicates that he spent $1,500 on these meals. So you got to look up and see if George can take 50% of those meals. And you got to look up and see if he can take 100 or 50% of those season football tickets. He was so well prepared that he finished the business in 3 days, so he spent the other 2 days sightseeing. He had the following expenses during each of the 5 days. He could take all the airfare. He can only take lodging for the business days. He can only take meals for the business days and the taxi cab for the business days. Marge Large is self-employed. She repairs rubber toy boats in the basement of her home. You think there's enough rubber toy boats around here to start a repair business? Yes. She must live on the ocean or something. Okay. So here is your Schedule C. Shed income, supplies, contract labor, telephone. So Schedule C is not hard. She don't have much there. Now they incurred some real estate taxes and some mortgage interest and some charitable contributions. Okay, if we add those up real quick, 4 plus 3, that's 8, 9, 10, 10, 5, state income tax, 1,800. That'd probably be 12.3. Now, ordinary, you would itemize. But what I want you to do on this problem, I don't know if you can download the 18 forms or not, but just give them the 24,000 standard deduction for married couple filing jointly. Give them 24,000 standard deduction. Now, that way you don't have to worry about itemizing. So now that makes that problem pretty easy for 50 points. It's due Thursday, a week from this coming Thursday. So you have 9 days to enjoy that problem. Okay? Now, depreciation. Now, Mr. Imel was going over, he gave a teaching demo, and I left my account. No, I didn't. But I went up to give his presentation. Now, Mr. Imel, gosh, he's down for a normal course load. A normal course load up here is 12 credits. And he's down for a couple online accounting classes. If they went, he'd be down for 2 classes of overload. That's 6 classes. If he gets the job as dean, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't even know what to suggest to him. He can only teach 2 classes as dean. They may let him teach one as overload. But my cost has to go for students to graduate. My principals has to go, and the taxes has to go for students to graduate. The VITA don't have to go. So I don't want to have to cancel it. I don't think we'll have to. But we're going to have to find some part-time people to teach a couple of his classes. If he gets the job, there are 3 people interviewing. He may be lucky, he may not. I have PowerPoint on here twice for 2019. I'll bet you neither one of them will boot up, but I'm going to take a gamble and see. Well, they may do it. No, cannot complete extraction. Does anybody see a trick real quick that I can extract? It usually gives me a command to extract. I think that was the problem on both of my PowerPoint. Let me try it again here. Okay. Now I'm going to try this one. And that's supposed to be a PowerPoint also. Let's see what it does. It's not working either. Now, somebody text me. That might be one of my students out there telling me how to extract. Now, Terry is live streaming. The camera is faced toward the class, can't see anything else. Now, first off, where is my camera?
Gotta go back.
Huh?
Go back to the hangout. You just gotta share your screen.
Go all the way back to the hangout or go here?
Yeah, because right now it's showing the camera on us. So,
Yeah, but all right. All right. However, okay, let's see what I've got right here. Now, I wonder if that is sharing. Whoever sent me that text, now see if you can see what's on my computer. So text me in a second and let me know. Okay. It's sharing now. I don't know what I did. I must have not hit that one little green box over on the side. At least they can hear. I'm not going to use this PowerPoint. Now remember, this is a 2018 PowerPoint, which was last year's book. And we are in this year's 2019 book. But believe me, nothing has changed much on depreciation. Few things. Now, you're going to have 40 multiple choice true false questions. You got your book, you got 2 hours if you need it. You'll have no trouble completing 40 questions in 2 hours. And it's only worth 50 points. I'll probably only take off 1 point apiece and give you 10, and then count that problem 50. That's going to help everybody bring their grade up, I hope. Now, Mr. Imel this morning, and now that lets me right, Mr. Imel this morning was going over depreciation. He was going over accrual basis of accounting and journal entries for adjustments for accrual basis. He went over supplies and he went over unearned revenue and depreciation, 3 adjusting entries. Now, conventions under MACRS, we want to take the half year, but we know we can take the mid-quarter, don't we? All right. Tangible personal property, that's equipment, computers, can use mid-quarter or half year. Now, real estate, the table is using mid-month. You don't have to worry about trying to find a table. So Mr. Imel was talking about depreciation, and he mentioned land. He was saying all fixed assets depreciate by using them or becoming obsolete. Well, what cell phone do you have, Jonathan? Which one? You have an 8 and I have a 7. So is my 7 pretty good to be obsolete? What's after the 8? Did the 8 have an S? Then you had a 10, probably have a 10S. What is the S anyway? The what?
Just an upgrade.
It's just a little bit of an upgrade. 8 upgrade, 10 upgrade. So my 7, I even missed the 7S upgrade probably. So I'm behind. It's becoming obsolete, but I can still use it, of course. Now, I read somewhere a cell phone can replace your camera. It can replace your GPS system. It can replace your calendar. It can replace your calculator. But the bottom line was, don't let it replace your family. All right? And I see husband and wife taking these into a restaurant, and both of them playing with their cell phone, waiting for their order. And families, everybody has out their cell phone. So don't let it replace your family. But anyway, back to Imel this morning. He was talking about depreciation. He said land appreciated. Now, we had a couple of women deans in there. One of the women used to be the provost before we got Dr. Lewis. So when Imel ended his presentation, he told that this was wear and tear. He said land will probably go up in value. He says equipment will wear out. Trucks will wear out. But land never wears out. Land will be around here as long as we are, right? But that vehicle you're driving will not be, hopefully. So I just went over depreciation and accounting principle, chapter 10. And I had to back up and say, Mr. Imel, I just went over that this morning with my students. And I told them depreciation was wear and tear and wearing things out. Us men depreciate. I said, these women in here, they're like land. They go up in value. They appreciate. They got a kick out of it, which I've told you that before. Some of these people up here, such dry pods. You got to do something to make them smile. Anyway, and do any of y'all have an AirPod? Cole, what am I talking about? An AirPod? Jonathan?
The earphone, the AirPod.
Yeah, I got a couple of grandkids wanting AirPods for Christmas. They're $159 for Apple. Apple will not give me an education discount. Black Friday did not have them discounted. Only place I could find them on sale was at Kohl's for $139. They were sold out the first hour they went on sale. So I had to pay full price to get those AirPods for a couple of gifts. Apple would not even give me a teacher's discount on AirPods. Anything, I can go down and buy iPads and get 10% at Apple. Okay. Now this 179 expense, we know this amount has went up to somewhere around $1 million. And we only depreciate property if it's used in a trade or a business. That can be used in real estate, Schedule E. It can be used, in a home office. You could use it 2106, use your vehicle if you want to take actual expenses. Now here, we've got two tables. That's all you need for real estate, residential and commercial. Commercial's a warehouse. Now, if I were renting a house, it's residential. Now, if I were renting a warehouse, it's non-residential. If I'm renting a building over here in town for a store, it's non-residential. It says straight line still around, don't it? But it's optional. Now, do we have a scrap value under MACRS? do we have a scrap value? In principle, this morning, I had to tell them that scrap and residual and trade-in and disposable value are all same thing. MACRS, we have no scrap. If you see that on a test, you better not forget it. It'll be one of those 40 questions. All right. Now, MACRS. And we assume we don't have, used to we bought something on February the 1st. We had to depreciate 11/12. March the 1st, we had to depreciate it 10/12. All right. But in MACRS, we only have to worry about the half-year convention or the mid-month. That's all we have to worry about. It does it. The table does it. You don't take half, the table takes half. Now, bonus depreciation, I don't, with that 179 around and the MACRS, you do not need that bonus depreciation. I don't suggest going alternative depreciation. A listed property, somewhere IRS has a list of how long something lives, what the life is. Somebody asked me this morning, how do you know what the life is? If MACRS puts a pickup truck in 5-year property, it probably has a class life of 3 to 10. But a pickup truck, it depends on what you're using it for. You can have it in business and not use it much and make it last 10, 15 years or more. Or you can wear it out in a couple of years, can't you? If you put 200,000 miles a year on one, you can wear it out. Luxury automobiles. The reason they came up with the luxury automobile limitation, it was people like my area that buys a Cadillac luxury SUV to go back in the mountains to their mine. IRS limits depreciation on stuff like that. They could have went back in that mountain on a plain Jane Jeep Cherokee. Didn't need a luxury Cadillac. They don't have that luxury. Now, amortization, we're going to have to take the years they give us. Goodwill, software. Now, back in principles and maybe in intermediate, have y'all covered depreciation and intermediate accounting yet? You did? But now they probably mentioned patents, didn't they? Patents and copyrights are two biggies. Now, some of these copyrights used to be 14 plus 14, patent 17. But we take what the book gives you, and we'll look at that in a minute. Now, I had 2 engineering students this morning in my principal's class. They have to take accounting 1. They knew what a patent was because they're in engineering. Patent is something you make or invent. Now, if you like literature and poetry, there's copyrights. The textbook you're using has a copyright on it, don't it? It even has a copyright date in it. So, here are some more examples. We talked about that a little bit 2 weeks ago. Customers list. Jonathan, is any telemarketers, do they call you on your cell phone?
All the time.
Do you answer them? Cole, do you get calls? Where do they get our cell phone number? Used to, you couldn't get a cell phone number if it meant life and death. Now it seems like they all get them. Of course, you can go on the computer, I guess, under all these old detective searches and find about anything on anybody. License and permits, covenant not to compete, franchises, trademarks, trade names can be amortized. All right. Somebody over here's got the franchise to McDonald's. Somebody's got the franchise to Hardee's or Wendy's. Those are franchises, aren't they? Now, computer software, it's expensive to build it. You can amortize it over 60 months. That's 5 years. Purchase softwares, you can depreciate it straight line for 36 months, or you can depreciate 5 years if it's hardware purchase. Now depletion. West Virginia has depletion on coal, don't it? Are there any oil being pumped out of West Virginia? Any oil? Don't know of any, do you? How about natural gas? Is there gas lines in West Virginia? Everywhere. You may not see them, but they're everywhere. Are there rock quarries in West Virginia? Have you ever seen a rock quarry? You take depletion on plain old rocks. Those limestone rocks that rock quarries use. All right, salt mines. Now, any of our natural resources or precious metals, you can take depletion on it. Timber. You deplete timber by the board foot. Now, once again, does anybody remember what a board foot is? All right, it's 12 by 12 by 1. A good timber man could go over there and look at 20 acres of timber and estimate how many board feet he's going to get out of it. And then he'll deplete it over a number of years. He'll use the units of production method. Depletion is nothing but the units of production, right? But this book gives you two, and we'll look at the other one. Now, all three of these, here, depletion, intangible drilling, and developmental cost. Now, we take depreciation, and we take depletion, and we take amortization. Those are all called capitalization. Don't you ever forget that. Some students graduated up here one year, and on some kind of exit test, they were asked capitalization, did not know it. And since then, I've tried to tell you at least 3 or 4 times what capitalization is. And here's what it is, right here, capitalization. All right. Now, I'd like to blow this form up. And not lose it. Now, for the provost, we had to put pros and cons on Mr. Eindel's presentation this morning. Of course, I gave him a lot of pros. It was clear and prepared, little humor. But I did give him one negative. And this is what it was. That print, it used PowerPoint. It could have blown it up. Now, can you read that, Jonathan? No, up front, can you read it? Code you got on specs, can you read it?
Some of it, but not all of it.
Clay, can you read it?
Some, but not all. It's very little.
I see part one.
I see that 2016 or 18.
I see it.
See, I can read all of it from here, but I'm nearsighted, not foresighted. So anyway, and I'll tell Mr. Amel I gave him a negative for not blowing those up. Now, if it's something, if it's something I really want you to see, I'm going to blow it up. All right. Where even blind Cole can see it. Cole, I'm kidding, Cole. Can you read it now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. This is a depreciation form. And this is 2016. This book's using, didn't even have the 17 under this PowerPoint. Now, folks, this has went up to how much? I want you to turn to chapter 10 under 179 and see what the limit is now. Let's get it straight where we're at. Chapter 10, 179, see what the limit is.
I did not forget.
Ladies and bring your computer.
It's $1 million. But 900.
I think it's at least $1 million.
Oh.
Got that.
179, limitation. That form you saw in our code, that's 2017. Was it still 500,000 on line one?
This is 510.
5 what?
510.
So it went up 10,000 from 16 to 17.
It says for 2017, the maximum amount of taxpayers can elect under section 179 is 510,000.
That's 17. How about 18?
Hard to find anything that's book.
We don't have.
That's a lot of work.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I hope they come out with these forms. They should have them out by now.
I think. Which one is that?
4562.
I don't know. But all these ones that I printed is.
Okay, Jonathan, I'm gonna tell you a quicker way. You got your cell phone, right? Go to irs.gov and find this form for 2018, hopefully. 4562.
Yeah, it's 1 million.
How much?
1 million.
One even? All right. Jonathan, have you got that new form brought up there?
It's 2017.
Was that how it brought up?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, code tells us this is 1 million. Now, the only thing about it, if you take let's say you bought a new $40,000 truck this year. Yeah, you can take it all right here. But you won't have any depreciation for next year, will you? You want to use it as a planning tool. If you can't afford to pay taxes to IRS this year, use it. That will reduce your taxes, won't it? It's legal. It's like one of those tax loopholes. All right. Now here's the one you usually work on right here. When you buy new equipment, you fill it in right here. All right, 5-year property, 3-year property, 7-year property. It's all half-year commission, MACRS. And we will practice that Thursday, okay? Well, I never saw that come up. Now, I don't believe you'll have small business in here, but we want to get prepared for the advanced certification. Now, I'll probably get books in the mail later. They sends me publication 17. It has all this information in it, and it will have the forms and so forth in it to show the limits. Now, when we do taxes, we'll have all kinds of help. Now, you three will be doing taxes. It's going to take a lot of training in January. And I guess Terry and Wes, and there's 6. Who's that other guy? So, Hillary, yeah. Okay, I'm going to exit this. And we're going to give you all a problem to do this period. Yeah, this book has 2017, has 510. All right, let's go to page 31. Excuse me, 31. Now, did we do number 1029 in class, folks? We did or didn't? All right. I want you to do number 29, folks, this period, right now. Jonathan, you and Cole can work together. Excuse me. Clayton, you can use my book. Number 29.
I'd rather do this and present that project.
I don't know why I should do that. They don't do it.
Yeah, kind of makes it worse. I mean, more of it has to see. I don't want to speak my part. It's the way he told me. He said on the Excel, he goes over it. It should tell him how we got that. No. You type it in.
I'm showing you how I got the answer. Me too, but
But he was there.
I don't know what's going on.
If anything.
That's a lot.
I mean, we did the project.
It's all bad.
With like absolutely like no help from him, because every time I went to him for help, you get out of school, he was like a wizard on Excel. And I mean, it's just like he was doing everything so fast, you couldn't even talk to her.
I had seen what the point he said, just put the strings and witnesses in the problem. They got like 10 slides. He said, yeah, nothing. I was like, okay, thanks.
It's like,
Yeah, no.
just put like one string slide for 5 slides. 5 slides would be.
Yeah. I feel like general information, like where it's located, like where's the information, where it was established.
I'd say with 4 of us, we can read 2 slides of these. Did you put the Excel on that?
Yeah, it's a,
Did 1 or 2 slides?
should I put them all? I'll put the which one's up in the corner, until they all.
Like, probably just a horizontal analysis of the vertical. I don't know about the, relation probably.
Okay, what number was this? 20 what?
29.
Y'all got an answer yet?
I'm lost.
That's why we want to find
We
you.
gotta have we gotta look at the table, don't we?
What was the first one there?
It was, Turner does not claim the section 179.
It was number 29?
Yeah.
All right, let's see this apartment building. The apartment building is 27.5-year property. So you use the mid-month convention for the office furniture and office machinery. He applies the 40% test. Now, first off, let's go to the table for residential. Back of your book, find that table.
What day was it, like C3?
I don't even know what it's. Appendix C. Is that for 27.5-year property?
Yeah.
So it's right here.
All right, now what month did they buy it in?
Yeah, May 1st.
Count over January, February, March, April, May is the 5th month. You're gonna count over 5 spaces. First year, what decimal do you have?
273.
Can you multiply that by whatever the apartment cost? All right, here, only 39% of the property was bought in the last quarter, so they're gonna use the mid-month convention. Now, first off, what's the next item on there? Next item on there,
Furniture.
how many years? Go to your tables again, they're in your book or they're on the first page of table. Turn back a page, Jonathan, see if there's another page. Turn back another page, see if there's another page. Yeah, you're on mid-quarter. Go back to the half-year convention.
Right here.
All right, 7-year property, find the decimal. Cole, is there one of them 5-year property?
Oh, yeah.
Find the decimal. It's on the same page. All right, take those percents and multiply, guys. What'd you get, Jonathan? How much?
2,885.
Did you get 92,885?
Yeah.
Cole, what'd you get?
84,000.
All right. And on the apartment building, table 7, 5th month. Is that the table we looked at for the apartment?
Yeah.
And here's your decimal. And here's your dollar. And here's your answer, 195, 524. Now, that's what you're gonna have to do, folks, even on the test, even in the multiple choice or true false, you gotta calculate depreciation. IRS's way. See, Clayton, if there's another sensible problem there. Let's see. Be doing some even problems for Thursday, folks. All right, problem 1031.
Did you say 31?
Yeah. Let me see what it is, let's see. All right. For A part, number 31, Cole, see if you can do the automobile, Jonathan the equipment, and Clayton the building. Now look at it, when you bought, when you sold it. But it shouldn't matter, you're taking a half-year convention even when you sell it.
With the two different.
Like that one we just did.
Would you subtract it?
He didn't do people.
And he skipped that?
What do we do? Do we subtract?
What?
It has the sales price in the
It
original.
has sales price and original cost base.
Yeah, don't worry about the sale price. No, that should do big.
So we use this.
All right. I know the year you sold it in, but I just want you to find the depreciation. Just find normal depreciation on it, and I'll show you what you want. Just find normal depreciation for any year.
Yeah, I apologize. I had planned to call, but I had a student.
Are you finished today, bud? That's what you're doing. Okay, at 8:30, what you do is your mini interview, 10:30,
Oh, the next one, probably about
9:30,
10:30, I did the teaching.
presentation.
Then we did the
Receiving 11,000.
things.
60.
Was that 11:30? Okay. Okay.
That kind of makes the same.
Equipment.
It's all right. Don't want you to
Should
be.
be.
Well, I can't at least.
I'm sure you did well. I did. I was saying I didn't.
Don't worry.
I do.
Oh, you didn't miss.
I came low enough to give him the sheet there, pros and cons.
Are you gonna do something?
Yeah, the only con I could take to put on yours, I didn't want to be totally, biased.
Yeah. Yeah,
The only con, you did not blow up your,
I know, I should have.
yeah, you
I
didn't
should
blow up
do that.
your transparency. And my eyes are not the greatest in the world.
You need to get some glasses.
That wouldn't help. Cole, I checked him out, even with glasses, he couldn't see until I blew it up.
Golly.
Okay.
You did good. No, I've got to get out of here. I've got a meeting this evening, 2:30.
Up here?
No, over here with the economic development. people.
Well,
Hillary was supposed to stop by, but she not stopped by.
Billy, I haven't seen you for that time. Anyway,
Fucking dropped out. Cole, why'd you say that?
I just blotted the back back.
I'm sure you've been hit with, what do you
He's
think?
low-key Cole.
I told him. Where did he never play video games? He couldn't get on that.
Oh, what's funny is I played these things more than he did. It's just like, I guess it's like the stereotype where I work. He doesn't like to play video games.
Then he goes cold.
24/7.
Stop how.
Up there, we want in the road. I've got trees sitting here right now. Hill in, turn, Matthew Green, I work. I didn't have wires.
What I'm saying there is, at some point, we have, I think we have.
In fact, he actually spent that.
That's, if we can stay still, allowing our young kids to they. Oh, that comes. So, just online crazy. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I will compete, but I think that at some point.
Last week?
Oh, it's now, we kind of do the circle.
Yeah, they do the full-blown way up.
Exactly. So we kind of do the circle.
I still think it's better than a full-blown web. Equipment. I know.
John's talked about.
That's why I get some.
They speak to. If we're going to continue on this, I think we've got to require something.
Maybe the school, this is policy. And I think we should have the work credentials, if they're working. I think.
I thought he was like, so many miles.
That's one of the problems.
And it's good.
That's what I would think.
And
And it's good that it's, another good thing about life school. It's good, if you got a full-blown website too. I want to stay as finance the same period I have been.
I don't even know what
The
they're
other students are taking both classes. I don't even know what they're doing. But a web class was two.
See,
Because you go in and pay it.
You don't have the test. Yeah. I guess it's because of the test. I mean, they're like,
Oh, I'm gonna be up to 3 o'clock.
you got an evening class tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, what problem was this, guys? Problem what?
31.
All right, let's see if we make some sense out of it with what I've got and what you were asked to do. All right. Now for the automobile. Who had that automobile?
I did.
All right, the automobile was what property? What class was that in?
Last week.
You know, 5 years, 7 years, what?
Oh, it was 5 years.
All right. The fellas, don't I have editing up here somewhere that a lot of these things have editing? It won't let me. Okay. I want to write.
It says draw up there.
Huh?
It says draw up there. I'll give it a shot.
Tells me what?
Draw.
The fourth one over.
I've tried that before. I want to try it again. And I've never got that to work, Cole.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I've never got that to work. All right, but where were we? An automobile, 5-year property, right?
Yes.
Now, what was your percent for the first year, Cole? First year,
20.
0.20?
Yeah.
And then the second year, third year, second year was what? 0.32, then it went down to 0.19, then it went down to 0.14. So all you're doing is finding depreciation for the fourth year. Now, did it go down to 0.11252?
Yeah.
And all you're doing is look at the table, even in the year you dispose of it, is what I'm trying to say. But you look for the fourth year. Now, Jonathan, you had equipment, right? Was that 7 year or how many years?
7 years.
All right. You owned it for 4 years, right? When you went down 4 years, was it decimal 1249?
Yeah.
Even in the year you sell it, you just use that table. No mid-year, no fractions, no percents. Now, how about you, Clayton? That building was in the 11th year. When you went down to the 11th year, 4th month, did you find this was 02564?
What is it?
All right, go to table 9, Clayton. Go to year 11, 4th month when you bought it. See if you have decimal 02564. You do? That's all you have to do, folks. So I'm trying to show you mid-year, mid-month, whatever, buy or sell. Now, Jonathan, the second part of that one, if we sold it, the automobile, we sold it for $1,200. But we had accumulated depreciation, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we had a loss. The book value was 2,074. So we had a loss of 874. On the equipment, I mean, that was coal. The book value was 74.97. We sold it for 95. So we had a gain. And the building, the same thing. We have a loss or a gain. Okay. All right. For Thursday, start working on your problems. For Thursday, start working the even problems on depreciation. Thursday, we'll try to accumulate all extra points. So try to be here if at all possible, folks. Okay. Everybody's had 2 weeks off. And Hillary, if you're out there somewhere listening, watching, or whatever, Mr. Imel's looking for you for something. So get a hold of Mr. Imel. Well, Jonathan, you and Clayton has to wait around for a long class tonight, don't you? Huh?